And welcome back to the Nose Plays. Today I'm going to be taking a look at a game that is completely new to me. This game is called Crying Suns, and it was brought to my attention by a YouTuber who goes by the name of Splattercat. He has a channel called Splattercat Gaming. He plays a lot of indie games, takes a look at a lot of different content, and every once in a while has some really neat gems of games, so you should definitely check out his channel. But I was very impressed by this game. The visual quality of this pixel art is amazing. The premise of this game is fantastic. If it's, apocalyptic space, futuristic craziness that you're interested in and that you're looking for, this might be the game for you. It's a little bit of a dark undertone to it, but it is a really neat game. The developers have put a lot of time into it. It's recently been released with a big, massive update called Advanced Tactics, I think. It was in early access prior to that. And yeah, it's a really cool looking game, so I decided that I was going to give it a try. So this is my first impressions video. Hopefully, if you enjoy this game, you can support these devs. They're making some really cool content. So, let's talk a little bit about what this game is. This game is currently on sale on Steam through the summer Steam sale through July 9th, I believe. Like I said, it just recently got a big update, the Advanced Tactics update, as they called it. And they released it officially. I think it's no longer in early access, so this is the official release at this point. I'm not quite sure how long it's been out. It's been relatively recently, within the last month or two. But like I said, I noticed it on Splattercat's channel, watched him play it for a few minutes. This is a complete first impressions. I have not played this game at all, other than just watching him play for a few minutes, and decided that I had to pick this up and put it on my channel, at least as a first impressions video, just so more people see it and see if it's something that they're interested in. The developers describe it as a combination of FTL and Foundation. I have not played either of those games, but I'm vaguely familiar with FTL, and so I know a little bit about how this is going to work. But we're going to go ahead and do a completely new run. And I'm also going to try to do something that I don't normally do. Since the dialogue is all text, I will try my best to read it. I'm not particularly good at reading dialogue. It's been a long time since I've had to read out loud for significant periods of time. But I'll give it a shot. I know some of the viewers like that. So, here we go. Ellis, Idaho. Where am I? Caliban, a dwarf planet on the outer rim. Most call it Gehenna, if they call it anything at all. This, Admiral, is a top-secret cloning facility for the Imperial Forces, the one and only of its kind. I am Caliban. It's Omni-Guardian. I don't understand. You have died, Admiral. Or, to put it another way, the true version of you has died. You are his clone, identical to the original Ellis, Idaho in every possible way, with some minor differences. When did Admiral Idaho die? How? Unfortunately, I do not know the details of my clones' lives, as interesting as they must be, extraneous to my directives, I believe. Which leads me to why I've awoke you. You must be curious after all. I need your help. A machine asking for my help? Now I truly feel strange. Not just a machine, Admiral. An Omni, short for Omni-Mechanical Neo-N Intelligence. Emperor Oberon invented us. Now your kind relies on us for just about everything. I'll come right out with it. I believe the Empire is in danger. In danger? What in the name of Oberon are you talking about? Once every 4 years, under the most secretive of protocols, I receive a single transmission from Elysium, our capital. Those transmissions stopped arriving. So you send a transmission yourself. I don't see the problem. That's just it. I can't. This facility was built in such a way to prevent it from initializing contact with the Empire, to help keep it a secret. Something is wrong. I am certain of it. And I've awoke you so that you can fly out of here in an Omega-class battleship, no less, and see for ourselves. We? I believe you'll find my intelligence indispensable for our mission, Admiral. I don't have your kind's limitations. If you're so smart, what do you need me for? Why don't you command the battleship? Because of Oberon's Rubicon, it prohibits Omnis from commanding battleships. War is a human prerogative. Also, since I can assume the clones here are the best of the best, that would make you the best Imperial Admiral to ever exist. I'd say you're perfect for the job. I'll do it, machine. For Oberon and the Empire, it's my duty as an Imperial Admiral. Excellent. Now just one more thing. Standard operating procedure requires I ask. Can you recall any of your emotional memories? Emotional memories? Any memory linked to a strong emotion, like love or hate. These memories, because of their complex neural pathways, will be a bit trickier for you to access, I'm afraid. I'm not sure. Then if you would do me the honor of trying to recall one. Any emotional memory will do. I can't. So much is blurred, broken apart. Don't worry, Admiral. Perfectly normal for this stage. You'll find rational memories, on the other hand. Those linked to Idaho's training and combat experience, almost immediately accessible. Just ask if you need a refresher. Lastly, and this is important, if these emotional memories return, rather, when they return, you must tell me immediately. It is important for your safety. Yes, your safety. Do you understand? I understand. Perfect. Now let's wake up the rest of the crew, shall we? We don't have a moment to waste. And please, Admiral. What is it now, machine? Call me Caliban. Alright. So, that is the introduction that got me hooked. I was very, very impressed with the dialogue, with the setting, with everything. It's just a very interesting world that I wanted to explore some more. So basically, we're going to captain a large battleship. It looks like as you complete the game, you can unlock some other stuff, and then you have all of these different attributes or abilities that you can level up and unlock more powerful versions of. And as I pointed out probably at the beginning of the video, this is a Rouge Lite, so that means that you basically play until you die. You're very unlikely to complete the game in one playthrough. It's basically impossible, I would imagine. And each time you die, you come back to the beginning, but you have more stuff. And so you're more capable of getting through some of the earlier stuff. There might even be some changes as you go back through. I'm not sure. Like I said, I haven't actually played this at all. But I did watch very carefully when Splattercat was playing. So, I think... Do we have any points to spend? It says you have 2 officers left to select. We have 12 commandos, 45 scrap. There's some nice pop-ups here. Scrap, currency used to upgrade your battleships or purchase items in shops during the event. Neo N fuel. Each time you travel to a new planet or system, it costs you 1 fuel you collect throughout the game if you want to do a lot of traveling. And then commandos, trained soldiers that can be sent on expeditions or used during events. We currently have some fighters, some frigates, and some drones. If you look carefully, you can see that fighters get a bonus versus drones, frigates get a bonus versus fighters, and drones get a bonus versus frigates. So you got a rock, paper, scissors thing going on. We also have this drone that is damaged, but it also gets a massive bonus. Yeah, so it's just a damaged version of this one. They're basically the same. And then we have a piercer laser. This is actually on our battleship, and we can use it to destroy stuff. What's this? Core system. This must be where we're at. Auxiliary systems. I guess we'll go ahead and move on to the next page here. Choose our officers. So we get to pick 2 officers. Officers provide you some interesting attributes, and as I believe they level up as you play. You can also unlock a whole bunch of different officers and customize your crew to some extent. I don't know what the maximum capacity of a crew is, but it looks like there's definitely the potential to increase the number of officer slots to some extent. I don't know if all officers are only allowed 2 of these skills, or if they can get more of them as the game goes on. But when you start off the game, you only get access to these 2 skills. The other thing I don't know for sure is whether or not officers at the beginning are always these same 4, or whether you get different options, or if they're random. I really don't know. It looks like at least your very first playthrough is always the same, because these look very familiar to me. So you can see that this guy has a hacking ability. What this does, as far as I can tell, and I don't know the details, but anytime that an event pops up, there might be the option to bypass the event or have a better chance of success if you have somebody like this on your crew who has the ability to hack. Engineering would be another one of those attributes. Irradiation? I'm not sure what that is. Sharp senses, okay, and discretion. Persuasion and discretion. So I think these are somewhat random. I recall Splattercat had somebody with the fight ability, which was really helpful in his playthrough, and we don't have somebody with that ability, so we're gonna have to decide who we want. We can increase our squadron speed by 25%. This guy has a proximity repair. Cooldown. Applies regen to all allied squadrons in your deploy zone for 10 seconds. Regens 2 health per second. Remove all time negative effects when applied. Well, this might be an interesting one to take because we could use it to repair our drones that are damaged. Also, we'll have discretion and persuasion, so we probably want to take one of these other. I think I'm gonna select her and maybe this one. Hack and erudition. So this guy can be sold for 3.5 times his normal value. Because he's famous. Probably more like infamous. What is this? Applies to hull. So wait a second, this doesn't actually... No, it says all allied squadrons in your deploy zone. Okay. And she's a spy? I don't know that that means anything significant. 6 health. Alright, so we'll take her and we'll take maybe this one. I think an engineer would be nice to have on hand. And the hack ability is probably good. It's between engineer or erudition. I think I'm going to go with this one. And then this would be where we change our battleship. I don't think I have access to any other battleships. Alright, so I think we're ready to start. Chapter 1, Echoes. These are the sectors of the Outer Rim, Admiral, the furthest sectors from the capital that there are. If there was ever a wasteland in the Empire, this would be it. Strange. I'm not picking up other omnis. Even out here, I should be picking up dozens of them. Let's try not to overreact, machine. It's probably nothing. The Empire has run flawlessly for how many years now? 700. And it will do so for hundreds more. Now come on, let's take a look around. Alright, so this is kind of where we deploy our forces. So we're kind of sitting in our battle station, or our battleship. And this is kind of our map, where we can jump from where we're at to other locations. This grid will expand dramatically, and there's a lot of different places we can end up. So we're going to have a lot of choices eventually, but this first few missions are pretty standard. Again, we have 12 commandos. We can send these commandos down, and we can have them be led by one of our commanders or heroes or officers, whatever we call them. Anything else? So this is an important symbol. Anomaly. Signals are the riskiest events that you can encounter. They have very positive or very negative outcomes. Okay. This one has an anomaly, so that's interesting. So it costs 1 fuel to travel here, and the anomaly ranking is 1. What is this? Omniforge, trading beacon, ground signal, and point of interest. So we have a ground signal, an anomaly, and a point of interest with the number 5. I don't know if that means 5 points of interest. Alright, so there's not much else we can do. I guess we'll just go ahead and click on that. What do we have here, Lieutenant? It appears to be some kind of cube-like refinery, sir. It's a Neo-N hypercube, Omnitech, from the simultaneous harvesting and refining of neutrinium from nearby stars. Interesting, if not downright bizarre. This cube isn't connected to the fold net. How could that be? And why aren't there hypercube omnis trying to reconnect it as I speak? We can ask Caliban for explanations. Your memory is still blurry, or we can send a small team to investigate the cube. Let's go ahead and ask. Certain things are still blurry to me, machine. What do you want to know, Admiral? Tell me about Neo-N. Hundreds of years ago, pre-Omni times, the first advanced machines discovered the existence of the final element, neutrinium, which exists usually, but not always, in stars. Neutrinium is extremely volatile in its natural state, but these advanced machines stabilized and improved upon it, providing the most powerful and longest-lasting energy source yet, neo-neutrinium, or Neo-N. Neo-N, in turn, allowed these first machines to create even more advanced machines, the Omni, an acronym for Omni-Mechanical Neo-N Intelligence. But I thought you told me Oberon invented the Omnis. I did. You are absolutely right. But technically, it's not entirely true. Oberon invented the first advanced machines, which in turn, thanks in part to their creation of Neo-N, invented the Omnis. Neo-N, in its refined state, is the perfect energy source, stable and almost boundless in its energy yield. As a result, it's used in just about all Omnitech, as humans stopped inventing tech hundreds of years ago. Lastly, what's important about Neo-N is that our very own battleship, the NS Odysseus, uses it, and without it, we can't go anywhere. Okay, we asked him about that. Let's ask him about the FoldNet. Tell me more about the FoldNet. As you probably recall by now, Admiral, the Omnis have invented and managed Imperial tech more or less since the dawn of the Empire. The FoldNet, arguably our greatest achievement, forms the backbone of the Empire. Think of it as a global galactic network, allowing instant data and matter transmission through its numerous interconnected folders and beacons. And without the constant vigilance and management of FoldNet Omnis, none of it would be possible, and humanity would live in fragmented chaotic darkness. Needless to say, it's important. Okay. The folders. Let me see if I can explain this to you in a way that you could possibly understand. In the early days of the Empire, at a speed of 100 times that of light speed, the interstice offered the fastest space travel available. It was fast, don't get me wrong, but traveling from cluster to cluster would take decades. To assist Empire administration, and just because we could, the Omnis invented a means of travel from 2 points in space instantaneously. The folders. Yes, each folder, several kilometers across, is linked or paired with another folder through a process of... This is going to be really difficult to explain to a non-quantum computing entity. Essentially, all you need to know is that these paired folders collapse and fold space for a very brief amount of time, so as to join 2 points of space previously unjoined. Without the folders, Oberon could never have grown his empire, nor kept it together for 700 years that he has. Each folder is run by an Omni. These Omnis are cleverly known as folder Omnis. Without them, the folders simply cannot work. Lastly, in order to reach Elysium, the Empire's capital, on our journey, we will have to use several folders. But why can't we just teleport to Elysium directly? We are deep in the Outer Rim. The few folders paired with Elysium will be found only in very important hubs. We'll need to reach those first. Alright. Let's ask about this. The interstice? The interstice is another Omni-invented tech, one of the first great inventions, and one developed long before the folders. With their interstitial tech, the Omnis created an empty space dimension between the ones you know, what we call a tunnel, where the universal light speed behaves, let's say, differently. In an interstitial tunnel, it's possible to reach up to 100 times the speed of light. At that speed, that allowed your kind to colonize their nearest stars. However, interstitial travel has its limitations. For example, at that speed it would take you 750 years to travel from one end of the Empire to the other, a period of time greater than the age of the Empire itself, hence the need for folders. However, the interstice is sufficient when traveling intercluster or within that cluster's sectors. Alright, I think that's fine for questions. That's enough for now, machine. Let's send in a team to investigate. Captain Lynch, form a small squadron. Fly around the cube and tell me what you see. On it, sir. Sir, the Omni was right. The cube isn't connected to the FoldNet, and by the looks of it, it hasn't been connected in years. Just a guess here, but I'd have to say it looks like it's been disconnected for maybe 10, 15 years? 10 or 15 years? At least, sir. Could the Empire have, I don't know, disconnected it on purpose? I don't think so, Admiral. I'm not a cube Omni myself, but cubes are complex tech needing constant supervision. Disconnecting it would make that all but impossible. And the Neo-N levels? Empty, sir. There's no Neo-N here whatsoever. Looks like whoever came before us took all of it. We won't be fueling here. The reserves might be empty, but there could still be some residual Neo-N coursing through the cube. I should be able to unlock the final restraint so that we can scavenge the leftovers. It won't be much, but it will help our efforts. There. We should be able to scavenge Neo-N fuel here now, but that'll be the last of it on this cube. All suns have Neo-N cube, where you have some chance of scavenging some precious leftover fuel. Alright, well, let's see. Okay, so here's our scavenge. It looks like if we scavenge, we have chance to get 1, 2, or 3, depending on how lucky we are. So that's good. I've got these spots here. I wanted to assign her to that for now, so that we could repair our drones whenever we get into combat at first. And then I guess we could put our other one on here, maybe? Alright, cool. So we got some fuel now. We've got our officers assigned. It doesn't look like there's much else we can do here. So let's go back to the local system now. Okay, so we're at this local system. So I think the 5... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That must be the 5 points of interest that we were looking at on the other map. Unfortunately, all of these are locked, which indicates to me that this is part of the alternate playthroughs. So when we eventually die, we'll come back through here, and as we come back through here, some of these will be unlocked, and we'll be able to do different events in this location than just the one that we've done so far. Looks like we can still go to this one. Sir, battleship, 12 o'clock. What kind of battleship, Lieutenant? Couldn't say, sir. I've never seen a ship like this in all my service. Incoming transmission. An Imperial battleship made from Telos tech. My mouth is watering. This is Admiral Idaho of the Imperial Fleet. Stand down, Captain. This is an Imperial sector you find yourself in. Imperial sector? That's funny, imp. Prepare to fight. The battle is imminent. Good luck, Admiral. Okay, so we're going to get our first taste of one of the combat systems within the game that I witnessed before. So this is a tactic-style grid. It says we can deploy our officers during fights. Some officers have special abilities that can boost specific systems. All officers can also repair critical effects sustained by any system. There are 3 systems: squadron, weapon, and hull. So be careful where you deploy your officers. Alright. Squadrons are essential to protect your battleship and destroy the enemy. To deploy a squadron, click the plus sign on the empty dock. For now, your second dock will be locked until you have learned the basics. Use your weapons to gain decisive advantage on the battlefield. Weapons can be deployed by clicking the plus sign on an empty dock. Okay. Your neurocom can also accelerate your thoughts to a point where time appears totally still. Press spacebar to enter or exit from pause. So we have kind of like bullet time that we can... Alright. Alright, so let's equip that, and then I want to equip the damaged drone so that I can use her healing ability. Now it has a cooldown. Not sure when or where I get to use that. Okay. Ah. Alright. Alright, so our gun has been charged. I can shoot those things. Or I can try and target the ship, maybe? Not quite sure. How do I use her ability? Hotkey 1. Proximity repair cooldown 15 seconds. Apply regen to all allied squadrons and deploys them. How to... Okay, I don't want to unequip her. I'm not sure. Our gun's charging up. Well, that's not good. Your weapon is finished charging and it's ready to fire. Click on it and choose a target on the battlefield to deal damage to your enemies. Okay. There we go. Let's try to take out their weapons. I got instruction cost docs. Okay. Three, two, one. Alright, let's see. What beats drones? Fighters beat drones. Let's deploy some fighters. Alright. Move them over here. Weapon is ready to fire. Fire on their weapons again. Let's get these fighters in here. Okay, so I completely goofed up on that. I'm wondering if the ability of the officer isn't available yet. Maybe it's something we unlock later on. It seems to be they're trickling some of the aspects of the game at us. That kind of sucks that we lost that damaged one. I was hoping to use the regen to repair it, but... good grief, the pixel art in this game is amazing. I mean, just look at this. This is just fantastic. Yeah, these guys definitely deserve your guys' support. If you are into this kind of game, you should definitely look at picking it up. At least pick it up on sale. But yeah, it looks to be a really amazing game. Okay, back to the story. What was that thing? I don't know, Lieutenant, and I'm not sure I want to either. Alright, so we're back on this. I can go back to the local map. Improve squadron's reparation time while in the hangar by 50%. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, but let's go to the local system. So it looks like we can go to this station. Alright. So maybe we can do all of these 5 things. We just can't do them in any order we want right now. An Imperial outpost, sir. It seems abandoned. Any heat signatures? Not a single one. Seems empty of all human life. What about an omnipresence? They should be here, managing the station, no? They should. And no, I'm not detecting any. This is getting stranger and stranger. Let's try to make contact. Lieutenant, see if you can make contact with someone, human or not, inside. Of course, Admiral. Sorry, sir, if there's anyone inside, they're not answering. What do you want to do about the outpost, Admiral? Let's ask him about it. What can you tell me about this outpost? Seems to be just your run-of-the-mill Imperial outpost, Admiral. There are outposts in all Imperial sectors. With the capital Elysium so far away, they help keep the peace and maintain order. You must show your military might so that you don't have to use it, I believe is the thinking. But there's definitely no military might here. Let's send in a team of commandos. Captain, Lean, form a small team and check it out. You got it, sir. Sir, the outpost is empty. It seems it was abandoned years ago. If I had to guess, probably around the time the hypercube back there was disconnected from the fold net. Looks like someone came here, took the most valuable Omni parts, Neo-N encapsulators, postrionic chips, and left the rest behind. Scavenging Omni parts? Who would do such a thing? That's a capital offense. One of the Pragma execute you for. Hold on, sir. I'm getting a transmission. My commandos have found something. An Omni, intact from top to bottom. Is it functional? That's a negative, sir. It was in a lower level. Guess whoever was here before us didn't go down that far. Might have needed higher clearance to get in. Admiral, I can examine it from here if the captain plugs the data pad into the exosoc. Sure thing, Omni. Okay, accessing the Omni's mainframe. And? Strange. Its exoframe is perfectly intact. It has plenty of Neo-N, and its postrionic chip seems to be in place. It should be up and running. I don't get it. Any idea when it was shut down? According to its chip, 20 years ago. Roughly the time the hypercube was unlinked from the fold net. What do you want to do about this outpost, Admiral? Okay, machine, I'll admit it. Something is wrong. At least in the outer rim. I don't want to further worry you, but our battleship's heuristics are detecting an anomaly at our next destination. Alright, so it looks like it's forcing us to do these 5 things in a particular order. I don't know if you're always going to be able to do that, but my guess is you probably have a lot more freedom. It's one of those creatures again, sir. Maybe this one will be friendly. Nice ship you got there. I'm gonna enjoy scrapping it over your dead bodies. You're going down, whatever you are. Alright, here we go. Alright, so each basic squadron type, we want to pick the right one. It looks like they're starting with fighters, so we want to switch to frigates if possible. Can we... I can't switch. I guess I have to deploy these guys? And then maybe bring them back? I don't know. Alright, we got more health than they do, so we should be fine. Our guns will be firing in a few seconds. Let's get their weapons taken out before they shoot any of them at us. Alright, cool. That was easy, and we got another fighter as a reward. I imagine these battles get much more complex as you get further in the game as well. These are more like tutorials at this point. Though we have yet another brush with death, at least our scanners detected the anomaly this time. Tell me more about these anomalies, machine. Anomalies are destination with a higher than normal probability of being very negative or very positive. Unfortunately, we won't know what kind of outcome to expect until we arrive at the source of signal. You could say investigating anomaly signals is a bit of a gamble. Good to know. Come on, there's got to be someone around here who can tell us what's going on. Alright. There would appear to be a small colony on this planet, Admiral. Maybe we can finally get some answers. I'm also detecting a ground signal, roughly 1,000 kilometers from the colony. Could be worth investigating with an expedition. Hello? Is anyone there? This is Admiral Ellis Idaho of the Imperial Fleet. I'm Tegan Bowie, leader of my small colony. What can we do for you, Admiral? If it's scrap you're looking for, I'm sorry, but we've none to spare. Scrap? We're here to find out what's going on in these sectors. I don't understand. We've yet to encounter a single active Omni, and 2 enemy battleships have engaged us. Is this some sort of sick joke, Admiral? The Omnis shut down. Impossible. The Omnis shut down in our sectors, and when they did, so did all of their tech. It can't run without them. How? When? I have no idea how it happened. I'm not even sure Oberon does. It's truly the great mystery of our time. As for when, 20 years ago. We relied on them for everything. Food, medicine, weather. It's hard to give accurate numbers, but maybe 75% of the population here died in the first 5 years alone. Now, who knows how many of us are left? 10%? Less? Alright. What can the NS Odysseus do to help? Defeating the Scrappers would be a nice start. Things would look a whole lot better with these scum out of the way. The Scrappers? Don't tell me you don't know about them either. It's like you've been living this entire time on an uninhabited planet on the edge of the Outer Rim. The Scrappers are a group of hideous irradiated scavengers who collect leftover Omnitech and Neo-N. When the Omnis shut down, causing the fold net to collapse in our sectors, they were the ones who took over in the chaos. They're not the only rotten apples around here with their pirates and the occasional crazy civilian, but they're definitely the worst. They defeated the Imperial ships? How? Telos tech is second to none. Imperial captains are trained at the Academy. True, but the Scrapper battleships wore them down. Picked off one here, another there. It was a war of attrition. Plus, the Empire couldn't send reinforcements. Not with the folder down, you see. I hate to say it, but I think it's just a matter of time before they make slaves of us all. But even if you beat them, even if you beat Mother, it won't change anything. The way we're going, 10, 15 years from now, with all the hardships we're experiencing, we'll be gone. All of us. Unless what? You somehow reactivate the Omnis. Turn them back on again. The ones that haven't been scavenged for their parts, that is. That's the only way to save us. Is there something else you want to know, Admiral? How are we going to do this? But how can we do that? You're asking the wrong guy, I'm afraid. As I said, no one knows who or what shut them down. You'll have to solve that mystery on your own. And once you do, you'll still have to find a way back to them, or a way to turn them back on, which might be another thing altogether. But where should we start? I hate to say it, but Mother is probably the best bet. I mean, she benefited the most from them shutting down in this cluster, didn't she? Then again, there are a lot of theories about who or what is responsible for this. Is there something else you want to know, Admiral? Mother? You really don't want to know, Admiral. For some reason, that's what they call her. Their leader. Mother. Mom. Mommy. It's all very upsetting. From what I gather, she was the one who started the Scrappers, fostering a punk, nihilistic, scavenging philosophy among their sordid ranks. And who makes up her ranks? Former Imperial prisoners, I think. The worst of the worst. When the Omni shut down, the prisoners escaped from the Omni-run prisons and psychiatric stations. Mother loves her tech, especially House Telos tech, like the battleship you have. And she and the Boyles who work for her will kill you for it and enjoy doing it too. She's been terrorizing these sectors for years now, enslaving men and women to bolster her numbers and make them into her playthings, and baby makers as she calls them. Alright, well, that's probably good for now. I don't need to know any more about this. I don't blame you. It's not exactly for the faint of heart. Is there something else you want to know, Admiral? I promise in the name of Oberon, we'll take care of these Scrappers and get your Omnis up and running again. You say that, Admiral, but you'll fail, or you'll stop trying sooner or later, or worse yet, you'll die. But take this Neo in, Admiral. We have plenty at the moment. I have a feeling you'll need it. And like I said, I don't know. I know it's not the bravest thing to do, but it's best if you hide. You live longer that way. Alright, so we got some fuel. That's good. That means we can get further. End transmission, sir. Do you believe what he said, Admiral? Unfortunately, yes. It explains everything we've seen so far. The Omnis shut down in the Outer Rim, and so did their tech, including the cluster folder. That's why those Scrappers are now run things out here. So what do we do now, sir? First thing we need to do is find this Mother. As Bowie said, if she didn't shut down the Omnis, chances are she knows who or what did. If you want to move on, Admiral, open the star map below by clicking on it and choose the next system. Otherwise, you might want to stay and check out this ground signal I was telling you about. Could be a good opportunity to gather some resources and put your commandos to use. Now that you've learned the basics, your second dock has been unlocked. Remember to make good use of it while commanding your squadrons. A numerical advantage is often a turning point in battle. You can access the expedition dashboard here. Okay. Well, what beats fighters? Frigates beat fighters, so maybe we put drones to take care of any frigates. Oh, this thing didn't actually die. So we got this back even though they got beat down. Alright, well, we'll put drones. That way the fighters have something to protect them. I still don't know how this works. Alright, we want to go back to the local system map, I think. And we have a ground signal that we want to check out. Alright, I think I'm getting the hang of the navigation of the maps and stuff. Minimum requirement of 3 commandos. Prepare for a mission. Scan the planet, please. Alright. So what do we got? We have an ejected cryopod. This is the number of commandos sent on the expedition. Minimal requirement for commando is 3. The maximum number of commandos will be sent, up to 10 if you have enough of them. The more you send, the better your chances for success. So as we start to run out of these guys, these things could get a lot more dangerous, but as long as we have at least 3, we can attempt to do these. Ground distress signal, 1 retreat chance. Okay. This section displays the types of artifacts you'll have a chance to collect. Good to know. This displays the types of major threats. No major ones. Ground distress signal displays the number of possible retreats your team will have during the expedition. We'll have 1 chance to retreat. I imagine that means we can retreat early if things are going poorly. Officer survival represents the chance your leading officer has to return safely. Healthy officers have a chance to come back injured. Injured officers have a chance to die. An injured or dead officer will abort the mission, forcing the team to retreat to the ship without loot. Okay. The resource extraction meter represents the minimum and maximum percent of encountered resources that your team will have a chance to bring back with them to your ship if the leading officer survives the expedition. The commando survival meter represents the chances of your commandos having returned safely. It displays the minimum and maximum possible number of commandos that will not make it back. So the nice thing is you'll know exactly how bad or good things could end up. Okay. So we get to choose one of these 2 officers now. We'll lose between 0 and 3. We'll lose between 4 and 9. Yeah. See, this would be a really bad officer to send. We could lose all of our commandos and not really be able to do anything. So let's go ahead and send this officer. Her success probably has something to do with her 2 abilities. Maybe not. I'm not sure why she's providing such a better chance of survival. But whatever the case, let's launch the expedition. Lieutenant, Caliban's detected an artifact on this planet that could be helpful to our mission. We have a good idea where it is, but we'll need you and your team of commandos on the ground to find and extract it. We'll have visuals, but space-to-ground communication will be minimal. We can't risk giving away our location of the battleship or exposing you to potential local threats. Only contact us when it's secure to do so, and I'll decide if an emergency retreat is necessary. Of course, any additional resources you encounter should be extracted as well. Now, get going. The shuttle's waiting for you and the commandos. Good luck down there. Thank you, sir. Resource cache. Okay, we got some scrap. Nothing found there. Danger was avoided with our hack ability. So this hack ability is becoming really useful. Alright, transmission signal. The line is secured, Admiral. You've seen our bio readouts. What do you think? Should we continue with the mission? So everybody's healthy. We've gotten lots of good stuff so far. There's a couple more. So this is basically the history of what we were able to collect. Let's go ahead and continue. Alright, we found it. Ejected cryopod, nothing found. That's unfortunate. Okay. Ooh, that was bad. So what happened on that last one? So this one required erudition. Erudition would have been a successful bypassing of this. Instead, we lost 4 heroes, and our hero was damaged, or the officer was damaged for 2. I guess these guys aren't dead though. They're just injured, so they might recover and we can use them later. So that's good. Nobody died. And we got a bunch of scrap. 100 scrap, to be exact. The star map button opens the current sector star map where you can choose your next destination. Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier. We only had like one option before, but now the map is quite large. And as I said before, this is still probably only a fraction of the actual map. I'm guessing that over here is Mother. This is the exit point to another map similar to this, I'm sure. And there's a lot of different paths we can take. But remember, each path we take is going to have different consequences, and it costs 1 fuel at a minimum for each path. So we have a limited number. Each node represents a stellar system. You can visit each interstitial jump. Cost 1 neo-N. Each system contains different points of interest. We kind of looked at this stuff earlier. Each time you jump, the current sector's rulers get more suspicious. Once the alert counter reaches 0, they will follow your tracks and try to find you. Being caught will result in a very difficult and unprofitable encounter. So, we want to try to jump before we get caught. That's good to know. Okay, so we only get 1 jump before they come looking for us. We'll just have to try to avoid them. I wonder how many different parties they have. If they only have 1, we should be able to avoid them. But if they have multiple parties that start swarming us, kind of like Pac-Man, that could get very interesting very quickly. Let's take a look and see. So there's trading beacons, points of interest, ground signals, and then the Omniforge. I don't see an Omniforge. Most of these have a ground beacon. There are 4 points of interest here and 2 anomalies. There are 2 points of interest here and a trading beacon. I don't think we need to trade just yet. If we go here, we have the option of trading on our next jump. So yeah, let's head to that one. Civilian ship, sir. Looking for good tech? I got all kinds of good tech, all legally procured, of course. And what are the chances that it actually works? Good. Real good. 75% good. We have a lot of scrap at the moment. We can afford to risk buying one of these. Navigation scanner upgrade tech. That sounds interesting. Let's buy that. Here's your scrap. Now this better work. Of course it will, Admiral. Have some faith. Jeez. Testing it, sure. Shouldn't take us long to determine if we've been had. I can't bear to watch. The tech checks out, sir. See, what did I tell you? All my tech works. 75% of the time. Alright, navigation scanner +1. I have no idea what that actually does for us. Scavenge some of that. Let's check out the local system map. Let's do this one first. A station, sir. Hard to say if there's anyone in there or not. Contact the station, Lieutenant. Contacting the station, sir. Yeah, what is it? I'm kind of in the middle of some top secret research here. Tell me about your station. Oh, this old place? Well, I built it a long time ago. Scrappers and pirates don't bother me because they know I have the thing rigged with explosives. Hey, I guess you know that now too. What do you want to know? I don't have all day. Do you know anything about the shutdown? You mean, do I know who or what did it? The answer is yes. You know? Of course I know. I've had a lot of time to think about it here. 20 years to be exact. I have it all mapped out. The who's, the why's, the when's. Who did it then? Who or what shut the Omnis down? Ha! You think this information is free? What, were you born yesterday in some kind of secretive cloning facility on a hidden barren planet in the Outer Rim? They're gonna keep hinting at that, aren't they? Maybe this guy does have all the answers. 12 scrap to make him talk, huh? Well, we do have over 200, so... Okay, now tell me who shut down the Omnis. I assume you're sitting down in your command chair. Aliens. Aliens shut down the Omnis 20 years ago to pave the way for an alien invasion. But there's been no invasion. No, there hasn't. Not yet, anyway. But many are here already, among us. You just need special glasses to see them. I happen to make them here if you'd like a pair. Naturally, that will also cost you. What kind of aliens? From a strange planet far from here, with blue skies, blue water, lush forests, and green, well, they were once lush, a planet that we've long ago forgotten. They've been sending their kind here for years, yes sir. You just need the right pair of glasses to see them. You probably want to know more, don't you? No. I don't think we need to hear anymore. I think I know enough about those aliens for now. Yeah, the sooner you leave, the sooner I can get back to my research. Top secret. There truly isn't, Admiral. I'm afraid your visit has been nothing but a huge waste of my time. End of transmission, sir. Okay, well that was unproductive. Let's do the more dangerous ones. Civilian wreckage, sir. Looks like it collided head-on with something in an interstitial tunnel. Survivors? Unlikely, sir. Not at that speed. There might be a small amount of scrap available for the taking in the crash, if it didn't disintegrate. Captain, get us that scrap if there is any. As upsetting as this situation is, we need as much scrap as we can get. Putting my men and women on it at once, Admiral. My team's bringing the scrap back now, Admiral. Not a bad little metal haul if I do say so myself. Alright, cool. We've recovered most of what we spent. There's not much else we can do here, so let's check out the last anomaly. Time for another fight. Scrapper battleship, sir. Incoming transmission. Shiny ship you have. Think I'll scrap it when you're dead. Alright. Ooh, there's some terrain on this one. Okay, all enemies you encounter have specialties depending on their faction. Check the description of their core system for information on their specific battleship technology. Okay. Scrapper tech. All allied squadrons are always in a patch state and cannot be repaired. Whenever acquiring new squadron, it comes as patched, but with a bonus 30% of unit value as scrap, or an equivalent discount in shops. Okay, they have fighters. So we really don't want to use our drones. We mainly just want to use our fighters. They also have faster boosters from their officer. They don't have any weapons. So really the only thing we have to worry about is that. So let's go ahead and deploy our fighters there and our drones there. You can guide your units along using waypoints. To do this, select one of your squadrons on the battlefield and choose a destination while holding Control key or Command key. Okay. Alright, let's pause. So if I hold Control, I can like... Yeah, there we go. What are these things? Did these things attack us? These are turrets. Oh my. Okay. Hold on a second. So we're going to need to attack these turrets. Alright, so let's fly this unit like around this way. And then this unit can attack that. Let's do that. Ooh, the drones are fast. Okay. These guys attacking. Oh, wait, never mind. These guys can just fly over here and attack their squadrons. These guys can go ahead and get rid of that. There we go. New one. Fighter Mark 1 Ghost. Not sure what that is. What is the difference? Left click to deploy. This one has a stealth. Activate. Stealth mode. Cancel. Taking damage. Becomes invisible to enemies while active. First attack in stealth mode deals an additional 10 damage to squadron, or 15 heat to battleship systems. That's kind of handy. We'll just keep the regular one in there for now. Upgrades. Oh. This is where we spend our scrap. I see. What does this do? Increase intel on stellar system in the sector. Show stellar system information up to 2 jumps away. Okay, so it just gives us more information on the map. So we have a better idea of what path we might take in the future. Fuel efficiency. So this helps us scavenge fuel more. Yeah. Increases the chances of scavenging extra fuel when we do our scavenge each time. Squadron dock recovery takes 13 seconds. Decreased time squadron docks are locked after a squadron has been destroyed. So we can drop the time down to 11 seconds with enough points in this. That's not a lot. 1 officer support dock in squadron control system, 2 officer support docks. This gives us 2 slots. This actually might be what we want, since both of our heroes help improve squadrons. Are there any other upgrades that I want to spend on? Additional weapon docks. We don't have any extra weapons. Weapon system support. Now, one thing I'm not sure of is, will my weapons fire if I don't have an officer here? I don't know that for sure. Boy, these are really expensive. Okay, well, heat capacitor? Hull integrity. Hardened hull. What's the cheapest thing we can buy? Hardened hull, probably? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll want to keep a fair amount of scrap handy. Alright. What's left? We've already visited everything. Alright, so I guess we go to not here. Star map. Yes. Alright, alert is spreading. So the local rulers are pursuing you and blockading access to their systems. You have no choice but to move on. Alright, so we can't move back to any of these systems that have the red thing on them. We could jump to Zelpha or to Omega Sadar. Zelpha only has a single anomaly, but it has more points of interest. It also does not have a trader, but we don't necessarily need to buy anything right now, I don't think. Let's go ahead and jump to here. Okay, I see how this works. Civilian ship, sir, 12 o'clock. An Imperial ship? Who knew we'd be happy to see the likes of you? Prisoner Captain. We're a group of prisoners who've escaped our prison station by building a crude junk ship. Prisoners of the Empire, Captain. You're lucky I haven't started firing. Yeah, we're lucky to be flying around in a homemade ship, a bunch of convicts in a post-apocalyptic galaxy. You have no idea how lucky we are. Look, we don't want any trouble, Admiral. We know we could never beat you in our junk ship. We just want to help you and your crew. We know of a scrapper weapon around here that's unguarded. We'll tell you where it's at. We'll tell you where it is on one condition. You give us Neo-N, and when the Empire returns to its former glory, you pardon us for our crimes. Okay, 2 conditions. I'm an Imperial Admiral, Captain, not an Imperial Judge. Okay, but can you at least put in a good word for us? So what's it gonna be? Oof. Do the deal is not available. And that's because we don't have enough Neo-N fuel. If we arrest these guys, some of them might be, you know, forced into labor that can help. I can think of some death squads. Sorry, Captain, I don't do deals with fugitives. Surrender now or face the consequences. Really? Don't tell me you believe Imperial law exists even now when the machines are down. Oh, I know it exists. I know it exists because I enforce it. I feel bad for you, Admiral, living in a fantasy world like you do. But look, I surrender. It'd be foolish not to. Besides, freedom in a galaxy that's dying isn't really my idea of freedom anyways. We'll take the beds and hot meals in your brig. And the weapon? The weapon? Funny, I forgot where the weapon is. Alright, well that was good. Maybe we should have done that before we talked to them. Let's see. Local system map. Got R&D for you, sir. Sir, I hate to complain, but we're twiddling our thumbs down here looking for a bit of direction. Anything particular you'd like us to work on? I mean, like, anything? Ooh. Now that you mention it, more weapons on my ship would be nice. And it's also the cheapest thing we can afford to do. Think you can get us a new weapon? Definitely. But it's going to require a fair amount of scrap. We're good, but we're still not that good. Still interested? I think you can get it done soon? We could really use that weapon the next time we battle. Absolutely, sir. Then I suggest you get started. Sir, the weapon is ready for use. Our enemies shall quake before us in fear. Praise Oberon. We have a flat cannon Mark 1. Alright. Let's see, what is the difference here? Target 10 random cells in an area. Ooh, this is an AoE gun. No effect on battleship hulls. So this isn't a weapon we would normally want to use unless something has like tons of fighters, maybe. Alright, well, we'll leave the piercer laser in place for now. Star map. We'll save the anomaly for last. Pirate battleship, sir, with its radar off. Looks like we have the upper hand. Pirates. I don't think they're likely to surrender, so let's just ambush them. To your stations, crew. We have an edge on our enemy, and we're not going to waste it. But what if these are nice pirates, sir? Nice pirates? You have to be the naivest radar officer I've ever worked with. Prepare to fight. This battle is imminent. Good luck, April. You've ambushed the enemy. Your units deployed, and your weapons are ready to fire. Okay. So we get to deploy for free. They have EMP towers and asteroid fields. Alright, well, we'll start with these deployed there and there. And we'll start with that. Let's see, what do they have? They have a weapon, and they have some drones, and then they have emergency repairs on the hull. So let's start with the weapon. And then our ships need to fly maybe over here. Alright. Let's fly that there. And that there. Okay, fighters are really good against drones, so we want them to attack those drones. And then I want these to attack that, and my weapons will be back online shortly. Okay, they're going to continue to maneuver to catch the drones. There we go. Alright, we can get them. And there, that'll be good. Excellent. That wasn't too bad. Ambushes are good. I have a feeling at some point we're probably the ones that are going to get ambushed, and that's not going to go well for us. Alright. Goodbye, pirates. Now, odds are there probably are good pirates, and there probably is either a chance that that event could have gone differently if we had gone the other route. But I don't know for sure how much of this is like purely scripted and how much of this has like alternate conditions that are random in nature. So we'll figure it out at some point, but so far I'm pretty impressed. I like it so far. I have a feeling that it's not a game you're going to play a ton. You'll probably play through it a couple times, and once you beat it, there might be some little bits of story that you come back through to revisit. The combat doesn't seem overly complex, but it's interesting, and it's all really well done. The graphics, the menus, everything's really easy to read. I have a really... My first impression really came from watching the initial video, but yeah, it's just super impressive visually. Like, the visual art style of this is fantastic. And I'm enjoying the story so far as well. It's pretty interesting little whodunit story. You can see there's lots of innuendo going on in the text. I think that you're going to get some surprise twists as you unlock parts of the story, which are probably going to be fairly entertaining. I like the little bits of humor that have banter back and forth between some of the characters we've run into. Yeah, it's all really well done. Really well done. So, this has been an hour and 32 minutes. I think we're going to go ahead and end this first look video here. If you're interested in this game and you like this game, please let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if this is something that my viewers in particular are interested in seeing more of. And most importantly, if you would like to see me actually do a full playthrough of this game on my channel, let me know in the comments section. Tell me, what you would like to see and how frequently you might want to see it. This is something that I would definitely consider doing like a series on my channel. But again, I have some issues with hardware occasionally that make that difficult as far as timing. So if I can't provide you a real reliable source of let's play material on this particular game, I have a feeling I know somebody who can, and I will let you know if or when that becomes available. But I would be more than happy to give this a try. If you guys want to see me do some of this playthrough, that would be great. If you guys would like to see me play some of my other stuff on this channel, or do some more Endless Legend, Endless Space, I'm willing to do that as well, but you gotta let me know in the comment section what you want to see. So please leave comments, tell me what you want to see, and because that's what really motivates me to do more of these videos, is comments and likes and views. So that being said, this has been the Nose Plays, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.